Again, I had some questions on the composting toilet. I was about to watch the prequel and the original, The Thing. I thought that would be fitting coming up on Halloween. All right, anyway, lost my train of thought. Composting toilet. Several ways a person can do it. This one's full. No, I'm kidding. It's clean. Don't worry. One thing that I was doing is just literally, King Crapper, he's on eBay, but you can see basically, I was just using the 5-gallon bucket, and Doug and Stacy, Off Grid, I think that's what's called on YouTube, they made a good point. They said, hey, if you can smell anything, you're doing it wrong, and they're right. So basically over here, I have a combination, was it peat moss, coconut husk, and pine shavings, not cedar. Cedar doesn't want to rot, so if you're going to do shavings, go with the pine. Anyway, start off with a little bit, and then after you do your business, it doesn't have to be a lot, but yeah, go ahead and poop, pee, everything. I think I tried it first, the whole dividers, and it made no sense. It stunk. And then Doug and Stacy were like, look, all of it together, who cares? And they're right. And you don't smell anything. Put a little bit over it. Most of my friends, if they come out here, it's like they put like half the bucket on it. I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do that much. And then once the bucket's full, I go ahead and seal it and just set it off to the side, outside, obviously. And then at a certain point, I will clean all the buckets up and put it in the composting bin. Now, really quick, one thing that I don't know why I didn't think about this before is line it with a compostable bag, trash bag. And you can get these for almost nothing. I got some in here. Yeah, these portable toilet bags that are completely compost friendly. And those are actually sturdy, thicker. That's something you gotta watch for, because some of the ones that are biodegradable are like less than paper thin. So anyway, do your business. Now that I figured out the whole sack thing, I'm honestly just going to tie off the sack and probably just go put it in the composting bin immediately, which I'll just walk out there. And again, not an expert here. Like everything else. Like, I mean, again, this building, just watched YouTube videos and converted, made my own walls, the drywall, the whole 9 yards. So again, obviously you don't want the composting bin too far away, but at the same time, you don't want it really close either. Good news is I never smell anything. Again, this needs a little bit of work. You can see I've already got some buckets out here that I need to empty and clean and all that kind of stuff. Got the compost starting. I've got, it stayed pretty dry. Clean hay. I just got a couple of bales at the local store, pitchforks somewhere else. And then basically, dug just a little bit of a trench out, and then put a little bit of hay, put a little bit of the compost stuff, dumped all the buckets, put a little bit more hay on top of it, and then I put a bucket of water over it, and that's supposed to basically get it going. Now this was from last fall, and it was actually quite a bit higher up than that, so obviously it's went way down. Now, since I'm not out here full time, it's not like I need to do this very often, or I also don't have a whole ton of people out here. But basically, is once this would get full, however long that would take, then it settles. Then basically, I'm supposed to leave it there to compost for a year. And again, if a person wanted to be super safe, you would want to check the temperature and all that stuff, but again, it's going to be there for years. And then once it's done, use it anywhere. I mean, if you don't want to use it, dump it. It's really good soil. And if you don't feel good using it in vegetable garden, you can still use it in your flower garden. The only tricky thing is I probably need one more of these bins just so I can be like, hey, this one's full. Okay, no problem. I've got my bin here with the hay in it. I just put this stuff on it to keep the rain off of it. Move it over here. Then by the time this one's open, then I could empty it out and then start the whole process over. So, but again, really not as bad as you think. And like I said, this has been a year's worth. But I think this, the more I think about it, this is how Doug and Stacy do it. I don't know why not just do the composting bag, because then literally I could just bring the bag out here, chunk it, and at a certain point put a little hay on it and do the whole process over, versus me having to use all these buckets. And it's not as bad as you think, but I mean, it's not pleasant. Basically open them all up and it's kind of like halfway decomposed, dump it, and then I basically go over to the rainwater and I start rinsing the buckets out, scrubbing them with antibacterial soap, and then we're done. But yeah, that is the process holistically, and it's really not as bad as you think. People always get freaked out by, oh my gosh, no running water. Oh my gosh, a composting toilet, are you nuts? It's not that bad. And again, you could easily add another composting toilet if you wanted. I've got like a little outdoor shower behind this little building, and there for a little bit, I kept one of the composting toilets out there, but I didn't really like having to wonder, okay, is there bugs or spiders gonna get in this thing with it being outside? So I just moved it to the upstairs little building here. But yeah, that is it in a nutshell on the composting toilet. Not near as bad as people make it out to be.